Hey folks, how you doing? Another little tutorial today. I'm gonna do the sheet for the called Steel Gurkha Kukri. And one thing from the previous tutorials I started doing is put the layer 2-3 layers of masking tape over the blade, just to create that little gap over the, between the Kydex and the blade, so it doesn't scratch as much. And also when you're working with a knife and it's dirty from the gunk and stuff in the woods, you have that little space there, so the blade won't get stuck in the sheet. So those two purposes. Although you should clean up the blade before you put it in the sheet, so if that happens, you can't really blame the sheet maker if your knife gets stuck in there. It's you should clean it, just take care of it. But mainly for the non-scratching, makes it work a little better, and all that stuff. So what I'm doing, I'm already heating up my Kydex. It's nice and soft. Obviously I cut up the nice big piece ahead of a time. So here we go. My press is little small, but it will do. I'm gonna set it in, put the blade into the desired location, fold it over, set the press in, make it nice and tight, and let it cool down, and I'll see you in a few. Alright folks, so the mold is done. I molded it to the knife, and in this case I have the original sheet, so I can pretty much copy the shape and then know that it will work, that I will be able to slide it if I keep the dimensions kind of like here. Plus the guy actually wants to use, where is it? He actually wants to use the original belt loop that comes with the Kydex sheet. You are able to mount it here on the back of the sheet. He wants to be able to use this one on the new Kydex sheet. So I actually have to keep the bottom part of the sheet, the top part of the sheet, same width as the original sheet. So normally I would make it wider just to be safe on these kukri shaped knives, because they're a little tricky, as you will see later on. But in this case I will have to pretty much copy the shape, the original sheet, and kinda hope, I'm pretty sure that I will be able to do it, kinda hope that it will work. Now the problem here with this, and also some of the Bowie knives like Marine Rider and such, is this. You see that the blade here is wider, much wider than here. So if I do the mold like right now, I would not be able to slide the wide belly through the narrow here portion. So what I'm gonna do is, I already marked the rivets. In this case I actually just kind of copied the rivets of the original sheet with the 5 rivets on top here and 4 on the bottom, same way as it is there. I don't know what's the 5th one for, but this gives you the option of moving the belt loop, from the top position to, you have 1, 2, 3 options to put the belt loop up, depending on the height you want. And I copied the rest of them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill them and rivet it, and then we're gonna come back. Also I want to show you a little thing here. Pretty much with all these kukri style sheets, what you want to do is you want to make sure, I'm gonna draw it here, I can just wipe it off then. You want to make sure that you will copy the blade shape, here on top, and on the bottom you want to make sure that actually this is bottom, this is top. The top part has to be at least as wide as this bottom here. So if I design the sheet to be, let's say, 4 inches here, I better make sure that this sheet will go like this, it's not as nice, you know, you can see it here. It's not as nice as regular knife sheaths, but that's pretty much what you have to do. And it doesn't really take on the functionality and everything. It's more of a design factor, pretty look factor. But you see that design, right? That's just the Kydex, and it's still like you have to. I'll show you soon. Once I rivet everything together, I still gonna have to heat it up and show you one little trick what I do. I don't know if anybody has different tactics. I would love to hear them, because this is a pain in the ass. So I'll see you soon with the. I'll drill the holes, put the rivets in, and I also sand it, so you know it's you already seen all those steps in my previous Kydex sheet manuals. Alright, so like I said, riveted, sanded down, and as you can see, I have no chance of putting the knife in now. So the next step is the tricky one, the pain in the ass one, is I have to pretty much heat up all this area from here to here. I can probably leave the top, but all of this I have to heat up. Also this area here, and pretty much just keep going in and out with the knife, so the white part will pull apart the Kydex, the narrow Kydex here, you know, and let it cool down as I do it, to make the space for the blade to pass through, to go down there. And then the next step will be fix up the retention. All of this pretty much has to be done like manually without the press, so it's kind of that's the part that's kind of hard and tricky, but that's what it has to be. So this is the time I'm gonna take off the tape and heat it up, and I'll cut it to, you know, the process once I'll have it heat up a little bit, so I can just show you without, you know, having to wait till it heats up. Okay, so you can see that the bottom is nice and softer. So what I'm gonna do, also what I did, I sprayed the blade with the WD-40 just so it helps a little bit and doesn't scratch. And I'm gonna insert the knife in now. Mold the retention. I'll see, I'll do it first time once. Maybe it actually opened up enough. And now with just my fingers, I'm gonna mold the retention around the handle. Try to keep it all nice and straight. That's the hardest part. They don't always come out straight, but that's the least of the worry. Most important thing is to make sure that they work right. So you can see that right now the working is pretty good. I just have to open up the mouth of the sheet. The sheet itself works pretty damn good. So what I'm gonna do now is just heat up the top portion, just the mouth itself, so I can mold the retention just a little better and open up the mouth a little better. This shouldn't take long to heat up. Hot. Definitely wear the gloves when you're working with the heat gun, because this stuff is pretty darn hot. So like I said, put it in, open the mouth, but squeeze around the handle. Again, kind of tricky, but it's doable. It should be good. Okay, I have to open up the bottom just a little bit. Too late now. Works good. I might play with it a little bit here on the bottom to open up this bottom a little bit more, and this is pretty good. Retention is good. This is not a blade you would be carrying upside down, but you can see that can really shake it out, which is nice. That's actually thanks also to the shape, because it's overall, so you actually, when you're pulling out, you're going, you know, like in a circle kinda. So that also helps the retention. It's not just the regular retention of the sheet itself. So what I'm gonna do now, the last step, you don't really need to see this, is I'm gonna heat up the bottom to make the drain hole, and that you know how to do. That's easy. And I'm gonna open up this mouth a little bit more, but again, you don't have to see that. You got the idea, you know. The basic is you have to always keep the top, the mouth of the sheet, and the whole area at least as wide as is the widest portion of the blade. Plus then the actual shape, it has to be able, you know, you have to be able to slide in and out. For example, the Ontario Kukri has that angle. This is kind of angle, this is oval, the other one is angle. So I'm not sure if I would be able to do it the same way as this one, because it's not curved. I cannot do this fluent motion, but it always comes to the knife, you know. You have to kind of improvise, play with it, and see what works, what doesn't work. But I think this came out pretty nice. Definitely will be nice. Of course, the belt loop will fit here nicely without any problem. So I would say mission accomplished. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Hope you found it helpful. And remember, don't cut yourself.